help new entrepreneurs start new businesses. We help existing small businesses improve their businesses through growth and improving profitability. Make sense? Okay, so how many businesses out of 10 failed in the first 18 months? Quick guess, you.
50%.
50%, so that's 5 out of 10. How are you?
Same.
Okay,
I don't know.
so rule number 2, or rule number 1, you can't copy somebody else's answer.
I don't know.
Okay, it's fine, you knew. How about you?
9.
9, no, she's the closest. It's actually 8 out of 10. 8% of small businesses fail in the first 18 months of operation. It comes from Bloomberg Financial confirmed. We've been saying this for years. We knew this. There's nothing new in small business. So the purpose of the Entrepreneurship Center is to improve those odds for entrepreneurs through business education, business training, and real-time consulting. That's what we do here. You have a handout. On the first page is the save the dates, upcoming training workshops. We have something called New Business Startup, Start Smart. That's this coming Saturday from 9 to 11:30. And then next Wednesday, I'll be here in a classroom setting doing, I think it's called Small Business Owner 101, Understanding Your Business Financials. Okay? Very, very important for business owners to understand their numbers, as opposed to just run to an accountant. Okay? The second page is a two-sided description of the Entrepreneurship Center, what we do, our services. If you're interested in getting one-on-one counseling from me, the next piece of the handout looks like this. You fill this out, and I collect it at the end of the session. The next 2 pages, it says page 3 of 4 and 4 of 4. That's because the first 2 pages are blank, so I didn't print them. But it's from the SBA.gov. It's a great resource, SBA.gov. Feel free to write that down. And so I copied this in your handout, top 10 cybersecurity tips. So this will dovetail a lot with what our guest speaker is going to talk about. Behind that, is there anything behind that? Okay, so the last 2. So you have this one for our LSAT program. LSAT is a job training program. Helps you prepare to look for and engage employers. So you do things like interview training, resume writing, etc. It's a week-long class that takes place here at the Urban League. Finally, the 2 forms. One looks like this. It says counseling information form by the SBA. Please fill that out at the end of the session, and there's also a training evaluation. Okay, we ask you to fill that out too. If you think the training's good, then please let us know. Make sense? So you're a real talking group, aren't you? Okay, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my, the Urban League's the Entrepreneurship Center, one of our main partners, and that's the Nevada Women's Business Center. Okay, and Kathleen Taylor is going to talk to you very quickly before we introduce our guest speaker. Kathleen? And thanks for coming.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Nevada Women's Business Center, thank you so much for coming out today for this live stream webinar about cybersecurity. We would also like to thank the Las Vegas Urban League for their partnership, and also for our guest speaker today, Mr. Cameron Belcher, founder of Gray Surface Enterprise, who will talk more about cybersecurity, specifically for small businesses. And I'd like to share with you some information about Cameron. He's the founder of Gray Surface Enterprise, an IT firm that consults with businesses to help save money in the cost of computer repair and security. His clients include 2 churches in Fort Wayne, Indiana, a hospital in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Ford plant in Lima, Ohio, a company that builds kiosk machines for the DMV. So he has a variety of clients that he helps with cybersecurity and IT needs. Before devoting his work full-time to GSE, Cameron worked for a company starting off in the call center and becoming a field service tech in the span of 3 years for a company that does software and hardware designs, whose clients include several states. Cameron was instrumental in designing security features and hardware ideas for this company. So I'm really pleased to have Cameron with us. It's such a treat to actually have him as a guest presenter, because he did access our services in his development as an entrepreneur. And now it's quite interesting to see his growth and development and his role in this capacity to provide his expertise as a guest speaker based upon his expertise in his own business. And also I'd like to say thank you for those of you who are tuning in on the live stream on our on our YouTube channel, Nevada Women's Business Center YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them on the live chat option, and we will have Cameron answer them throughout the course of the webinar. So it's my pleasure to have Cameron Belcher to present cybersecurity. So thank you, Cameron.
Hello. Hello out there in the cyber world. Like Kathleen said, I am with Gray Surface Enterprise. We're a small company who does security and computer and hardware. But more of that later. We'll get into this as quickly as we can here. As it says on the screen, a compromised computer is a hazard to everyone else, too, not just to you. So basically, you know, if your computer gets infected, if you're part of a network, everyone else's computer is corrupted as well. I have certificate training for cybersecurity, PCI, compliance security, and security at home.
What does PCI stand for?
PCI is personal. I didn't have that question in my head. Personal security. It's like your telephones, the Wi-Fi networks that you use, different things like that. A lot of companies now have to be PCI compliant. The card on that little thing on your credit card now where it inserts, that is part of PCI complicency. So they taught us what to look for with all that security for that. Quick quiz. A hacked computer can be used to, what does anybody think?
Access your private information.
Okay,
Hold you hostage.
correct.
All of the above.
That is absolutely correct. The answer is all of above. And again, a compromised computer can be used for all kinds of surprising things. Cyber safety basics. Same thing, cybersecurity, but is now switched, keeping up with technology. Instead of cybersecurity, we go with cyber safety. See if I can. So, good security standards follow the 90-10 rule. 10% of security safeguards are technical. 90% of security safeguards rely on the computer user, which is you, to adhere to good computing practices. So, like my example says, the lock on the door is the 10%. You remembering to lock the door, checking to see if the door is closed, ensuring others do not prop the door open, keeping control of the keys, etc., is the 90%. You need both parts for effective security. So, the tutorial I put together basically covers 5 things. What is cybersecurity? Cyber safety threats, consequences of inaction, cyber safety actions, and cyber safety at home and work. What is cyber safety? Basically, like we said, cyber safety is a common term used to describe a set of practices, measures, and or actions you can take to protect personal information on your computers from attacks. This is very important when dealing with small businesses, basically because most small businesses cannot afford to have an IT firm work for them and make sure they are safeguarded. So it depends on you to make sure that you are safeguarded. Gray surface, we have a cyber safety program policy. So anyone who connects to our network basically must meet those security standards. Any questions so far?
I have a question or a comment.
Okay.
From a historical perspective, what were the trends that led to actually like the creation of the cybersecurity sector? Because there was a time when that was never even heard of.
Right.
So was it a result of, I don't know, hackers hacking the White House or, you know, Fort Knox or something like that?
Okay.
Could you kind of take us down a trip through memory lane?
I can. It actually, there was hackers before there was even the internet.
Really?
Yes, because you still had a computer. You know, it's not as secure as it was back then. It was not as secure as it is now, where someone could make a phone call and say, "Hey, what is your computer name?" and be sitting right outside, patched in, and doing everything they can to interrupt your system.
Wow.
And then once we moved into the computer age, that's when hacking really took off, where people were connecting to everything. It's I'm not old, but do you remember party lines?
Yes.
That is pretty much what the internet is. So talking and going at the same time, and that bits of information was getting pulled off and used for those purposes.
Oh, interesting.
Then, let's go to recent. Why cybersecurity is now really in the news is we had the election scandal where they're saying that the president had help from Russia. Also, now we found out that the Russian hackers hacked about 10,000 people within the last month.
Wow.
And so it keeps going on. The credit card switching over to the chip now because you were going to Target and Target got hit by a hack where they were scanning your credit cards just by hacking into the network system at Target.
Wow.
So that's why it's important that people be up to date on what cybersecurity is and cyber safety.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
No problem. These are some threats for cybersecurity. Viruses, we all know what viruses are. Viruses infect computers through email attachments and file sharing. They delete files, attack other computers, and make your computer run slow. Hackers, people who trespass, like I said before, who can get into your system. Identity thieves, which is something that's really big right now. It's tax season, people are stealing IDs, and they get creative. They will call you asking for your information. They will dig in your trash can to take your personal information so they can claim your taxes.
Wow.
And spyware. Now, these are the consequences of inaction. Loss of access to the computer network. So let's say your business gets hacked. They can literally lock you out of your system completely. Loss of confidentiality, integrity, and or availability of valuable information. Because as a business, if you would get hacked, you have to inform your customers that you have been hacked. The VA hospital was recently hacked. So, they have to send out a letter to everyone letting them know your files have been, may have been compromised. The Social Security office, they occasionally get hacked. And what was a big one, I think it was the VA hospital. They over 70,000 files were taken from the VA. So they had to inform all those people about that, and people lose faith in what they, thought was a safe place for their information. And of course of that, you get lawsuits and loss of public trust. The following describes the top 7 actions you can take to protect personal information in your computer. Dino passed out the top 10 for the SBA. These are the top 7 which you can do to protect yourself for that. Any questions so far as I take a drink of water? To keep up to date for cybersecurity, please make sure you install operating software. Those updates are very important. I know Microsoft and Mac sends them out continuously to keep you up to date and keep your computer running smoothly and efficiently so you don't have to worry about that anymore. You can also program your computer to do it at certain times of when your businesses are closed, so you're not getting that update where it says, please restart your computer during normal business hours. Run an antivirus software. Nowadays, I don't know about Mac, but I do know, on PC, it now comes with its very own antivirus software. Microsoft provides that free of charge on their computers. And like I said, periodically check to see if your antivirus is up to date. If you do not have it so it automatically does it, your computer may not have been, if you had it for 5 years, you could have 5 years worth of antivirus software that you have missed if it's not auto-programmed to do it on its own. Antivirus removes viruses, quarantines, and repairs infected files and help prevent future viruses. Gray Service offers SOFIs for work and home computers. That is a great program that specifically keeps your computer clean, and it's programmed automatically to wipe, to swipe, to clean it every night and every day. Prevent identity theft. Like I was saying before, tax season, they dig in your garbage. They will call you saying we are with this bank. The biggest one I can remember, and I think a lot of people have got this email where they say, you are getting $100,000. Please send us your Social Security number and $1,000, and this money will be yours. Wow. I think it was the Bank of Uganda, and people actually fell for it. They actually sent their money, didn't get anything. Next thing you know, their accounts wiped clean. Another way you can prevent identity theft, and excuse me, I got to step out of the camera for a moment.
Sure.
I forgot it. Okay, we're in Vegas, so we go to the Strip. Not anymore do people need you to swipe your credit card. They can just walk by you with a backpack and get your credit card information right off your card. So if you carry it in your wallet or anything like that, they can just do that. You can buy these little things right here. They are a credit card holder, and they actually stop the signal from bouncing off for your information.
Oh, excellent.
And you can get these at the Dollar Tree for $1.
Really? Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
So a cell phone or a tablet, that's like a computer within its own.
Correct.
So the same recommendations that you're giving for people to use on their laptop or desktop, is that the same recommendations for these other platforms too? For
phones and tablets, it's a different story. Laptops as well, because everything's portable now. So let's say you go to, name of a coffee house, Starbucks, that it? You go to Starbucks, you jump on their internet, you get on their Wi-Fi, the person next to you is also on their Wi-Fi, and let's say you have your Bluetooth on. They can connect to your computer through that Bluetooth, because your name is up, and they can see everybody who's on the Bluetooth network and who signed up and on Starbucks network line. Because Starbucks network line, it's secure, but it's secure for Starbucks. It's not secure for you
Good point.
as a user. So, yeah, it's scary what you can do with the cell phone and a tablet these days.
You know, I'm glad that you brought that up about Starbucks, just as an example,
Mhm.
because there's some entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, so to speak, that basically uses a Starbucks or a Coffee Bean or some other local coffee shop as their office.
Right.
And they, connect to their internet, so it's good to know that, your signal may be compromised in some way, so you need to have these firewalls up for
Right.
extra protection.
You know,
That's good to know.
the Urban League, they have a guest line, but it's password protected, so you just can't jump on their guest line.
Right.
And that's good practice.
Yes.
I'd have been devastated if he was like, oh, I just log on. But no, he had to go get the password to let me on there so I can do what I had to do. I went to a retreat for cybersecurity, and they had flash drives around on the table. And on the screen, all it said was, insert the flash drive into your computer. No one paid any attention. This is where we are technical robots. They just picked up the flash drive and inserted it right into their computer. And I did it too. And when the speaker got up, he's like, how many inserted the flash drive in front of you into your computer? About 90% of us raised our hands, and he said, you've all been infected.
Wow.
You do not know what you're putting into your computer, and you don't know me from anybody.
So when we get like freebie flash drives from an expo or giveaways,
Right.
do you recommend using those or?
Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
If you want to see if anything's on there, the best thing I can say is make sure you're not on your network line.
Oh, okay.
Just undo your wireless
Mhm.
and plug it in, and your computer will tell you if it's good or not, or if you have an antivirus program, it will run automatically and say, this is clean.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Personal firewalls. Check your computer security settings for built-in personal firewalls. I know for a fact Microsoft offers a free personal firewall in all their laptops and computers. Where before you had to go buy something, Microsoft gives it for free. It's really good and it works really well. The Mac one is there too. And you can use that. Test your firewall. The link is there, auditmypc.com, firewall test ASP. I don't usually give a lot of links because, and I'll get to this in a second, but links can also lead to spyware and adware programs. So you want to be careful what links you go to. Oh, the last one here, hackers search the internet by sending out pings. The best way to describe what a ping is, once again, I'm going to go a little old school. Have you ever played the game Pong?
Beer pong?
Not beer pong.
Ping pong? Sorry.
Pong, when you had a little tablet here and a tablet here and the ball would go back and forth.
Oh, I've seen that before.
That is Pong. Basically, it's the same thing as a ping. So, like I'm on their network. If I knew their IP address, I could type it in my computer and see if I can get signal back and forth. And it's easy to use, it's easy to do. I have an app on my cell phone. That's how easy it is to see where you can get internet access to.
Okay.
So that's why firewalls are very important, because if you do not have a firewall, your security and your information is at risk. Spyware and adware. This is a hard subject because just recently, I'm going to go with what's going on right now in the White House. President Trump signed into effect, or President Obama signed where our information couldn't be sold by our internet service providers. President Trump just reversed that ruling. So what that means is any website you go to, it can now be your internet service provider. Like here it's Cox, they can sell that information to another company. And so before, where you had to worry about spyware and adware, now you worried about if your service provider is selling your information. Spyware and adware take up memory and can slow down your computer. I cannot tell you how many computers I fixed because of those two things. Google Chrome, great web server, everyone likes it, but what they don't know is when you download Google Chrome, and once again we get into the drone effect of you download something, you just hit next, 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 next. You don't look at what you're downloading. All of a sudden, you have what's called Google Toolbar on your computer. And then you download something else. It has its toolbar as well. So you can have 5 toolbars up there, but what those toolbars are doing is saving all your information, and it slows down your computer because those are constantly active. So it's like your cell phone. If you don't close out all your apps, your phone moves slow. Same thing for the adware. So the best thing to do is to pay attention, because those boxes are automatically checked. And now they trick you into check here to accept, but behind it is you're also downloading the same thing. So be careful. I personally do not, the only service I use is Internet Explorer. I don't use Google Chrome, I don't use Firefox or Mozzarella or any of those, because they all come with their own toolbars.
That's good to know.
Protect your passwords. This is a hard one for people, especially if you're in a relationship, because the first rule is do not share your password. Because if you're married, why can't I have access to your phone? Always make new passwords difficult to guess by, avoiding dictionary words, mixing letters, numbers, and punctuation. And please, do not use any of these common passwords. QWERTY1. Anybody know where QWERTY comes from? If you look at the keyboard on your computer, look where tab is, and look at the Q and spell it across.
It's the top row.
Yep.
Oh, it sure is.
ABC123. That is a common password. Let me in. Password 1, I love you 1, your username 1, baseball 1, kids' names, grandparents' name, last name, middle name. You have to be careful with all of those, because those are all easily accessible for someone to get. Like I said, change your passwords periodically, mix up upper and lowercase, use a minimum of 8 characters, use mnemonics to help you remember a difficult password. There's also what's called a token key, or as it's called here, a key password. A famous video game has a token so your information doesn't get shared, and it's an encryption key. So you pay monthly for this encryption key to get on, and it changes once a month. And please, avoid keeping passwords on a Post-it note under your keyboard.
That's me. Oh my gosh.
On your monitor or in a drawer near your computer.
That's me. Oh.
Because if someone breaks into your workplace,
Terrible.
that is where they're looking. Don't keep a list. If you have to keep a list, keep it in your cell phone in the note section, and again, don't share your password on your phone, and you can have that locked.
Okay.
Backup important files. This is something that normal everyday users don't do. They don't back up their files. You know, it reduces your risk of losing important files to a virus, computer crash, theft, or disaster. Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word has this thing. If your computer crashes, you bring it back up, it will say, this was the last thing you were working on. Do you want to continue? That's what this is. You can have just a hard drive, a separate hard drive, a flash drive, or anything else you can back it up on. On here, when I made this, it says save your important documents to CD. No one saves to CD anymore. But it is the #1 way, I believe, to save all your documents, because you can keep those somewhere safe. You can buy a CD pouch, keep all your backup files in there, and check them. As I said, test your backup periodically. And also, if you do back up, do not keep them in your workplace or your place of business, because if it catches on fire, you have lost everything. Any questions so far?
Just a comment. I don't know if you guys use passport drives. You familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Western Digital has a product called Passport. Goes up to 100 gigs. And aside from what you just said about CDs, you would think it's the perfect thing because you keep it with you, keep it in your bag. The problem is if you drop that,
it breaks.
It breaks, and you can't get any of it back. So I literally had to restore a computer twice to get the information back because it just fell off my TV stand.
Yep.
Brought it back to my IT guy. He's like, "Nope, unless you pay about $1,000 to have it wiped off." So.
Yep.
It's good to know.
It was worse than dropping the phone and shattering the glass.
Cyber safety at home. Pretty much same thing as cyber safety at work. Physically secure your computers by using security cables and locking doors and windows. In my profession, we do not leave, and I have to get off camera for a second, these open.
Oh, okay.
We keep those locked.
Oh, okay.
It's something I picked up on, and I like it very much because it's a security risk. Because someone can walk in with a laptop, hook up a cross-space wire, plug it in, and they're automatically on your network.
Whoa.
Because thinking like a hacker, you can basically figure out what the IP address is, change it in your settings, and now you are on their network. It's not connected by Wi-Fi. Those are not password protected.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, now you say that, when you mention that's my IT.
Avoid leaving your laptop unsupervised and in plain view at the library, a coffee house, in your car, or at your home. At your home is a little bit different, unless you're expecting visitors or something. But I've been to a library and seen someone just walk away. Starbucks, same thing. People just walk away. Once again, thinking like a hacker, I could literally just walk up, type in the information, have it looked at, pull it, take a picture with my phone, walk back, and you have no idea that I have just got your information off your computer.
Wow, just like that.
Yes. Or even quicker, I can just pull a flash drive out, put it in, have all your files copied, take it out. And most times hackers work in groups when they're at a place like that. So they see the person walk away, one person will go and talk to the other person to keep them from coming back until the other person has your files off your computer.
Wow.
Again, do not install unnecessary programs on your computer. Like I said, I use Internet Explorer. I have no need for Firefox or Chrome. My mom loves her Chrome, so I can't talk her out of it, but she calls me when it breaks down.
Speaking of unnecessary programs, do you think a system is more compromised when you're downloading games and, playing like stuff for like gaming, that kind of thing?
It depends on where you're getting your games from. If you're downloading Microsoft games, those are safe. But if it's a third-party game, it might be an issue. I know on your phone, you have apps. So those are mostly safe. Tablets, Google Store. If anything comes from the Google Store or Play Store, those are mostly safe. I know Apple, they screen everything. And Apple is the most secure phone that you could have. You can't hack an Apple phone.
Wow.
And if you can, they will pay you.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They'll pay you $100,000 and give you a job.
Oh, wow.
That is how much they believe their phones cannot be hacked.
That's comforting.
Cyber safety at work. Be sure to work with your technical support coordinator before implementing new cyber safety measures. You as an employee or even a boss, you hired this company to take care of your cyber needs. So if you just say, we're doing this, and he said, well, we can go a different route, listen to them. They've been through this. Talk with your technical support coordinator about what cyber safety measures are in place in your department or anything like that. I know at one location where I worked, the rule was you couldn't be on Facebook. So new person came in, they told them, they tried, and within 3 minutes, the technical support guy was there. You were just on Facebook.
Wow.
Because Facebook is fun. Facebook is a fun thing to do, but it is not a safe thing to do. Everybody has Facebook. There was an issue with, I can't remember, the video of Facebook on the app. What's it called? Is it Facebook Live?
Yes.
When it first came out, people were just going around taking as much videos as they can. Well, what Facebook didn't tell you was they didn't have their security part of it set up yet. So people were getting hacked. If you remember, you were getting friend requests from friends you already had on there.
Yeah.
And that was because of that. So people were trying to become your friends. I had 3 friend requests from my grandmother.
But it wasn't your grandmother.
It was somebody else, right.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yep.
Okay.
It has died down now. It is not coming around as much, but that's one thing of be careful of what you do. Like I said, Facebook is great, but there are security features that they don't worry about. Twitter, any of those. Twitter, what's this? Snapchat, Instagram. They all have security features, but they are there to protect them, not you.
Okay. So, if you're a small business owner or even a major company, and you have a Facebook business page,
Right.
and you're using that for promotion and, exposure, what are some things that you can use to add additional security of that content?
Okay. One, I would say as a company, don't use Facebook Live. You can still do video, do it off your computer. Every laptop, tablet has a camera on it now. Do that. Do it on the website, not just on the app.
Okay.
Remember what you're putting out there. Because as a company, if you have someone on there who's wearing a bikini or something like that, or even I had a friend of mine whose sister went to, keep losing my train of thought, beach in Florida. And she took naked pictures. And she is part of his, you don't have a friend list for a company for Facebook. It just like pages and stuff like that. Well, her images showed up on his site. for his company. And
Wow,
that caused all type of issues.
I'm sure.
So make sure, because Facebook offers a lot of security settings, you can put on what you want to have pop up for those pages. You don't have to just leave it open to where new pics or anything else can jump up on there. So, like I said, just got to be careful. Getting to the end, the important part of security is you are it. You are security starts with you. Learn good computing security practices. Incorporate these practices into your everyday routine. Encourage others to do so as well. Company related, report anything unusual. Notify your supervisor and the ITS support center if you become aware of a suspected security incident. So if you walk in and you see a flash drive sitting next to your desk, inform somebody so you will know if it's supposed to be there, because it may not, and then IT will come, take a look at it. Yeah, that's for a new file that you need to put in your computer. Or no, that's not supposed to be there. Thank you. Because you have to worry if there's a lot of things going on with that. PCI compliancy, as the question stated before, what is it? There's something new going on that people are not even aware of. Gas stations are now being used to steal your credit card information. They are putting skimmers, which is a little thing, almost the size of this right here, connecting it to it. You insert your credit card, it reads your information, you pull it out. You don't even know. So that is one of the latest things that are happening right now in America. This is cybersecurity, but also what happening at gas stations is you're supposed to turn your car off when you get out to go pump your gas. People are leaving it on. People are just walking in, jumping in your car, taking off. So that's just a little bit of information.
Yeah.
But be cautious of who you hand your credit card to. If you're pumping gas, it's easy now. We have cards, put it in, take it out, look at it, pause for a second. I call it the 1, 2, 3 rule. When you pull it out you pull out your credit card, look at the credit card reader. If something looks just off a little bit, just go in and pay. It's that easy. Information nowadays is easy to get. It's out there for everybody. So please be careful, and that's it. So any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Just a very brief question. My very small business that I'm trying to start up, but one of the things that I want to be able to do is take mobile payments.
Okay.
I use an iPhone and a BlackBerry. I don't really know the question I want to ask, so maybe you can help me, but I want to be able to take mobile payments. And there are a lot of ways to take mobile payments, but I want to be able to be sure that my customer's information is secure when I run their credit card, so that doesn't make me liable. And additionally, I want to make sure that my information is secure while taking a mobile payment so that I can be paid for my services.
Okay. With Apple has what's called Apple Pay or Apple Wallet. Like I said, Apple is secure. They have they have a little credit card reader where you can swipe it and it goes into the Apple service. And like I said, Apple hasn't been hacked. I don't know about BlackBerry. I'm surprised you have a BlackBerry.
This is one of the more secure phones.
That is a secure, yes it is. So I can't really answer about the BlackBerry though. But I do know Apple, they have Apple Pay.
I mean, it uses an Android app, but I guess my question to you is, when using a credit card reader attached
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'll be downloading a lot of people's information.
Right.
As well as somebody will be getting my information for me to get paid for
Right.
my services. So, some of the information you gave is a little large for my one-person business,
Okay.
but I am kind of concerned about, especially when you're dealing with payments from people.
Right. The best would be to go to your bank and say you want to take mobile payments. And they will set it up on their end so it's secure. So like if you run a credit card, it won't stay in your phone long. It'll stay long enough to bounce back to them to let them know the payment was received. And then that information is sent right on to the bank. That is, it's that moving network party line. Like the kiosk for the DMVs, there is no information stored on the computers inside of those machines. So everything comes from this location to here, to here, to here. It's a 5-step process so you can get that registration card out of that machine. So like I said, the best information would be talk to a banker and they'll be able to set you up the correct way.
And is that called merchant services with the bank? A
Um,
merchant account? I don't know.
I'm not for sure.
I was just throwing something out there. Okay.
Any other questions? All right, well then, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming today for this very informative and concise presentation about cybersecurity. Thank you so much for tuning in online as well, through our YouTube channel during this live stream. And if you happen to miss the beginning portion of the live stream for cybersecurity, you can always go back on our YouTube channel and watch it again. So thank you so much. We did have people watching us live, and you were very thorough, so they didn't have any comments. So they did convey that you're very thorough. It was it was presented in a way that was very simple and easy to follow, and some of it was reassuring or reaffirming what they already knew, and there were some things that that was new to them, and they appreciate your suggestions. So thank you so much, and Dino with the Las Vegas Urban League, thanks again for your partnership, and we really appreciate it on behalf of the Nevada Women's Business Center. So if you could please be so kind, there is an evaluation form. If you could please fill that out, I'd appreciate it. And we'll conclude this session of the webinar. Thank you.
Nice job. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, appreciate it. How'd you come with the gray surface?
Me and my business partner, we're trying to figure out names, and we're both big fans of Tarzan.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So he liked gray Stoke, and
Mhm.
so we settled on gray, and then I suggested surface because everything starts off on a flat